Hey guys, Ryan here. We got another video for you guys today. Saturday. My last video I made, if anybody's watched it, I went into a lot of the things that have negatively impacted me in my life. A lot of that was childhood trauma, and on top of that, having bipolar. One of the biggest things I wanted to touch base on with this video is the positive things that have come out of my life. Even though my adopted father was very physically abusive, amongst other things, my mother, she was absolutely, I'll put it this way, the last foster home I was in, I was 4.5, and I remember the day she came and picked me up. She had a maroon car. I think it was a Chrysler, and she had my adopted father's one of his second oldest son and two of his daughters with him. And I remember the day the door opened up, and the best way I can describe it is that when the door opened up and she was standing there, she asked me if I was ready to go home. And I shit you not, it was like there was this energy, this aura, almost like angel wings, surrounding her. I knew I was going to be loved by this woman. I knew that she was going to provide for me stability emotionally, and she was always going to be there for me. A lot of the times I feel like people, and it's not everybody, I do feel like there's a general percentage, it could be super low, I feel like we take our parents for granted. Now, in my case, it's different because she's not my biological mother, which might as well be. But she always has had a disposition about her, and I was not an easy kid raising. I know that. I wasn't a bad kid. I had a lot going on. And my mother, knowing that, being in 12 foster homes, and, she knew the backstory of, I was separated from my family, and that in itself, down the road, can come with roadblocks and its own challenges. I cannot express how much it meant to me for this woman, out of all the other children, she picked me. I was brought into an amazing family. My grandparents, the first day they met me, I remember running up to them, and we were at the airport. My mom says, "Look, there's your grandma and your grandpa." And I ran up to them, my little arms flailing, and I knew I was home. My Aunt Kathy, my mom's sister, was one of the best aunts a young kid could ever ask for. Uncle Steve, everybody in the family was absolutely, and still is, absolutely amazing. I have gotten support, love, compassion, and I've gotten some pretty amazing Christmas gifts when I was little too. I knew I belonged there. One of the biggest things that I kind of had to make progress on as I went by is the things that I did. And, you know, there was a time in my life where I had so much anger inside of me, and I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know why I was angry. And I mean, it's something I've talked to my mom over the years, kind of touched on it here and there, and we have a wonderful relationship. And you know, it did suffer for a while, and that was because of my actions, and that's something that, you know, I wish that, you know, she never had to go through. But she did absolutely the best that she could with what she had, what she knew, and she did a fucking amazing job. I look back because there were times where my mom had to use police, get them involved. And I remember I was just so angry, like, why would you do this to me? And it took me many, many years to sit there and look back and say, you know what, you did the right thing. I put you in an impossible situation, and you did what you needed to do. And it kind of sucks because, again, not everybody's the same, but we act out as teenagers and we go through these phases, and as people call them. But you know what? I've known families that, you know, they super mild as far as like the acting out, you know, and again, I had a lot of mental and emotional issues that at that time I was going through. I didn't know how to deal with it. I just knew that something was broken inside of me, and that's something that led initially to my use of drugs and alcohol. Because besides my adopted dad being physically abusive, I had the best upbringing ever. I had an amazing mom, and amazing doesn't even cut it. Like that, I don't know the word, but it's got to be better than amazing. I had, between my mom, my childhood friends, the things that I got to experience that I would not have experienced if I wasn't adopted, playing sports, you know, my mom taking me. I remember one of my most memorable things was going to the racetracks, and watching Bugs and Paul race, and that literally hands down is one of my best childhood memories. The sounds of the race cars, the mud, the smell of dirt, you know, it's just spending the time with my mom, you know, it was always an amazing experience. I am so grateful that I was chosen by this woman. I have no clue what it would have been like with anybody else. I had this feeling, yes, even at 4.5 years old, I had this feeling. I can remember the day in my heart, throughout my whole body. And it was this amazing feeling when she came and picked me up. Those words, "You ready to go home?" I remember when we got to the house, she's got this little step, that goes into the house. I remember walking in and I tripped over it. That was my entrance into the house. And I can tell you, the things that my mother has done for me over the years, and continues to be my mother without question, and does a damn good job of it. It's a lot of the reason why I have this positive side about me. I get that from my mother. So, my childhood coming up was not without positive. One of the biggest things that, I expected. I don't even know if expected is the right word, because, I was 4.5, but, I definitely thought coming into this home that this man, I went through the process, going to the court and the adoption court and everything. I remember doing that. And it was literally something I didn't know I'd have to go through, but the struggles that I went through and the traumas that I went through, my mom always made it better. She did the best that she could with what she had. And I'll say it again, she did a damn good job. There is nobody in this world that I love more than my mother. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. I wanted to touch base on some of the positive aspects that I had growing up in my life. One of the biggest things that got me through it too was having my best friend, the Caspers, Ryan Casper, right down the street. And being able to go over there and having that connection with somebody in a family, another family, was definitely one of the highlights of my childhood. They treated me like I was their own, even though I was an unruly child. I could just go over and pretty much, just show up, which I did a lot of the times. It was kind of a thing. My mom would say, "You need to ask before you go over." And I'd get on my bike and I'd just, they're probably not doing anything, they probably need to see me. But it was having that bond, that relationship growing up, that really got me through and past a lot of the stuff that I've dealt with. Having a family where I never had to go over and I was ever in fear of being abused, or not that I didn't deserve it sometimes, but I joke. But the love, the overwhelming love that they had for their children, it extended to me. I always felt like Lori was a second mother to me. Russell was a father figure. And they acted the part. You know, they were always there. Yeah, to say he's the longest friend I've actually, had stick around. And, I think it's, 27 years I've been friends with him. But yeah, I mean, I just, everything that fell into place and the positive that I was able to experience in my life after experiencing so much dark, traumatic, horrible things made my life better. So that's all I got in this video, guys. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Take it easy.